We're here with Bernard Bulcke, the spokesman for the Belgian Permanent Representation to the European Union. Belgium, on the 1st of July, will take over the rotating 6-month presidency of the European Union. Mr. Bulcke, what can we expect from Belgium in the next 6 months?
Well, we will try to do as good as in the 11 presidencies we had before. But for the first time, we will be a rotating president under the Lisbon Treaty, which means a lot of changes as far as concerns the visibility of the presidency. First of all, we have in the new treaty, we have a permanent president of the European Council, which means that our Prime Minister will be less visible than before. Secondly, we have as well Cathy Ashton, which lead the new service for external relations, and that means that our Minister of Foreign Affairs will be less visible as well. And thirdly, and most people forget that is the most important change in the Lisbon Treaty, is that the European Parliament is really becoming an important player now, because all the important dossiers go to the Parliament for co-decision. We do see that the institutions are still looking for their borders. They are seeking how far they can go too far. We see that between Mr. Van Rompuy and Mr. Barroso, the game between these two is not very clear yet. Same thing for the European Parliament. It is not very clear how the European Parliament and the rotating presidency will play together. That's all what we have to put into line for the other presidencies after us.
So what is your objective in this? Trying to sort out and find a working modus operandi?
I think in the long term, this will be very important for our presidency. The new institutional framework in Europe has, the Lisbon Treaty is more important as far as concerns changes in the institutional framework than many people thought before.
That said, Belgium is a country in political turmoil. Belgium has hit the headlines with the victory of Bart de Wever. There still is no government, only a caretaker government at the moment. How will that affect your work in the European Union?
Well, of course, for our image it is not so good. I think we have to admit that for Belgium it's not good for the image. But as far as concerns the European policy, I think what is very important, and that is different with, for example, the Czech presidency, where we had a political crisis as well, that is that in Belgium the whole political elite agrees on the headlines on European policy. Majority and opposition agree on European politics because it's a vital interest. The European Union is a vital interest for Belgium. And that's why if we have a government change, which is certainly coming, then it will not put any problem for our European presidency, because the program will be the same. We prepared very well the details of the program. I think Mr. De Wever or the other parties will accept it, because it's not a Belgian program, it's a European program that we will manage. We are the honest brokers of the facilitator of compromises into Europe. And that's the new role, in fact, from the rotating presidency the coming years.
The first permanent president of the European Council, Herman Van Rompuy, also is Belgium. Will that make it easier for you?
Well, anyway, it will help to make Belgium visible during these years and in the coming years, that's sure. But we have a total different role. You have the permanent president from the European Council, and you have the rotating president. We have a lot of more technical competences to work on. Mr. Van Rompuy is working on the headlines, the political impetus of, for the coming years. That's very important as well, of course, even more important. But the rotating presidency has to work on the fine-tuning, the details, the technical issues, the technical competences of, which are very important as well for the daily lives of the citizens.
So would it be fair to say that finding this new modus operandi for the European Union would be seen as a success factor for the Belgian presidency?
For us, anyway, it is one of the main criteria to say afterwards, the 31st of December 2010, did we stabilize the new framework or not? I think that will be the main criterion to say that's a success presidency or not.
Belgium, of course, is a country that is known as a split country, Flanders, Wallonia. How does that affect your capacity to find compromises?
Well, it will help us because our politicians, they are used to hear about conflicts and different points of view about even technical questions. When our ministers go to a European Council or a council, whatever, then they hear immediately the points where it is possible to construct a compromise. And we have a kind of political technology that's in fact our core business, to make and to build compromises. That's why prime ministers from Belgium so often are very important European members of the important members of the European Council, because they know how to build compromises, and on European level that's one of the most important things to do.
Why is that? Because
Belgium is a split country. It's a country where the big cultural areas of Europe meet each other. We are in the middle of the European problem, in fact, and it's daily business for us to make compromises. Every day, on almost every dossier, our politicians have to think, that's his concern, that's my concern, let's try to find a solution together. And sometimes it works better than other times. No, it's not so good, but it will come back because we have no other choice.
So can we expect a compromise between France and Germany and the rest of the European Union?
Anyway, we will work on it. We will try to work on it. It's a Belgian, Herman Van Rompuy, who leads the European Council, who is working every day together with Mr. Sarkozy, with Ms. Chancellor Merkel, to build compromises on the vital questions of the Eurozone. He has a very good and experienced diplomat as his chef de cabinet, Mr. Van Dalen, which is daily on the phone with both the Élysée and La Chancellerie in Berlin to try to find compromises. And in fact, the conflict is very, very deep for this moment, but as you can see, it is not an open conflict because of the fact, I think, that we are trying to put them together, to force them to dialogue, to go together to the G20, which is very important, with common positions, and that's the way we work every time.